Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, in the previous video I have explained to you how the role of the coach and the coachee. So if we want to recover back again, the last video that I've given to you. Alright, we have given you some understanding as your role as a coach, and then the role of the client or the coachee in terms of their awareness, acknowledgement, accountability and action, and how they can overcome their challenges by understanding the progressive development of their positive inner speech or their inner thoughts, or whatever you want to call that. In psychology they call it thoughts, which is called a lot of them is negative thoughts. Alright, but how you want to develop this, you can do a short-term goal, mid-term goal and long-term goal, and how the approach is our growth model: goal, reality check, obstacle and options, alright, way forward, tactics and habits, GROWTH. So today I'm going to talk about the reality check, how we are going to understand this issue so that we can help our coachee or our client in facing their problem. Alright, if you look at the reality check, it is what you think of yourself. That means you have a self-image. Your coachee have a self-image. What are the three major parameters or domains of this inner speech or your self-image? Alright, that self-image can be many forms, but I'm taking the four areas. One is delusional. Alright, people who have challenges in life, they are delusional. A lot of them are delusional. For example, they have alcoholic addiction problem. They say, no, I'm just a social drinker only, so I drink once in a while, but actually every night they are getting drunk. Alright, so it's delusional. Or some of them are going through, for example, they're addicted to pornographic website. Oh, I'm just following my friend only, and they're spending 4 hours on the pornographic website. Some of them even 12 hours a day on pornography. They become numb. All right. So these are delusionals. So in the situation of delusional, to make them self-aware that they are now being controlled by their delusion, the self idea. Some of them even have some grandiose idea, oh, I think I can make $1 million, in 2 years and 3 years or whatever it is. Some even say in 6 months, because they go to some of these so-called materialistic motivational guru and say, oh, you can achieve whatever you want and that kind of thing without hard work and things like that. But these are normally con artists. But you create people who are delusional. So delusional of their current situation, delusional of their capability as a human being, delusional of their projection of their future self. Alright? So we have to bring them back to the baseline. That means what is their reality? So this is where the reality check is very important, because there are issues in which through your questioning technique, I have given you the video on the questioning technique of how you're going to approach your coachee. You can then understand their situation, but remember, you do not break their ego, because normally these delusional people are very big in their ego, so they are egocentric. So if you prick their ego in such a way, the inflated balloon will just explode. They will just curse and swear at you. So you must be able to gently guide them towards a path of reality. It is what you really think of yourself that you bring them from delusional state to really bring them to a situation of the reality of their situation, whether they are on addiction, alcohol or drug or pornography or sex or failing in exam or having relationship problem with their parents, their father or their mother, situation of family divorce. So many. There is thousands of situational conditions which all have their own variant, because each human being is unique. Allah has created us unique. We have our thumbprint. Our thumbprint is unique. There's nobody in the world that have your thumbprint. The same thing. There's nobody in the world that have the same thinking as you think about yourself. So the delusional person must be brought down to reality. There's another category of people. These are the denials. They deny. They deny, oh no, this is, so everything is somebody else's problem, not their problem. All right, they deny having that problem, or they deny because they think that it is a problem of other people. I get sacked from the job because, not because of my poor performance, because my boss is evil or whatever it is. Or I fail my exam because, you know, my friends cheat. I don't cheat. So these are the deniers. All right, so you have another category of people. They are not as grandiose as delusional, but they are denial. So they do not accept the fact that they are in this situation. Again, people like this is easier to bring them to reality, because if they, through your questioning technique, which I have given you, you can then bring them towards their reality check to what you really think of yourself. Many times you can think and then format it in such a way that your question in terms of why, what, and so on, just prompting question, letting them to speak for themselves. All right, and then another category of people will be those are with self-doubt. They are capable, but they don't believe in their ability. So this self-doubt is the opposite of delusional. They always see themselves as small. They always see themselves as incapable. They only see themselves as not being able to change. All right, so this self-doubt will have a very low self-esteem, because everything that they do, they feel, oh, it's tough lah, you know, or it's difficult lah. I don't think so. I can do it lah, and so on. So they have this self-doubt. I don't think I can change, because you know that change will take so many things. Oh, I'm not in this situation. I don't think so. I can achieve this goal. So these self-doubters are those who see themselves small, who see themselves as incapable of acting on whatever changes that is required for them, and you are easier for you to bring them towards a reality check. Okay, how to go about with it? This is what we call positive active inner speech. In our book Positive Islamic Psychology, we give you the whole format, the whole approach in terms of how to use your inner speech, positive inner speech, because I've taught you about the FET and TEF cycle, thought, emotional, feelings at the lower level, and at the vertical level, feelings, emotion, thoughts at the higher spiritual, emotional, mental level. So there is this material in our Islamic Psychology YouTube, Islamic Psychology PIP. You can find those FET and TEF cycle. I teach in detail how the Islamic perspective of you can have this positive inner speech shaping our process, switching the process of our thoughts. So these thoughts are the one that is causing the situation in which we have delusion, we have denial, we have self-doubt. All these are just thoughts. What is a thought? Where does this thought arises? A thought, you know, for example, like if I tell you now, think of a cat. All right, you see an image of the cat in your mind's eye. All right, or think of, for example, you living in a big house and big bungalow, so you can see that by the beach. So you can see that, oh, there's a big house by the beach and you're living there enjoying yourself. So a thought arises from the consciousness. These thoughts, normally you have 50 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and 90% of them are repetitive. Yesterday's thought, the day before yesterday's thought, 10 years ago's thought, is always being recycled in the garbage bin of negative thoughts. All right, so you have within CBT how you are going to transform your negative thoughts to good thoughts, and I have given video on what are the challenges in terms of overcoming that. You can go to our Pi CBT and learn more about this. It's all in the video. So our thoughts come from our consciousness, and this consciousness can be pulled through for Muslims. We know we can draw our thoughts from the realm of goodness, that is from the realm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through our roh, qalb and akal, that filters down to us and become our thoughts, which is positive, which is active, which is always thinking of the goodness of this world and the goodness of the hereafter and the goodness of having a good life and so on. Or the negative thoughts, always thinking about wants. I want this, I want this, I want. So it is always from the nafsul ammara bil su, from the lower nafs of satanic or evil thoughts or the desire, all right? You must be able to understand between desire and vision and mission. Now, desire is very negative in the sense, from the Islamic perspective, you desire something without putting the necessary effort. So, desire, for example, for beauty. It is good, but you desire for that beauty in what sense? Desire to have richness. Desire, for example, to have a beautiful partner and so on. So, those are desire. Those desire, if it is manifested in a proper holistic manner, it is okay. But then if it is coming from the lower nafs, it is desire for sex, it's a desire for money, it's a desire for wealth, it's a desire for power, it's a desire for controlling and so on. So those are the evildoers of the world. You can see them prominently in a lot of politicians. They are all just having their desire fulfilled, and they don't care about killing or murdering or whatever it is. As long as they get what they want, they are the lowest class of human beings. So we have to then bring about for the person in the reality check how to actively start at level 1. These are the flow. Okay, you do this first at a short-term thing, then you increase to this and so on. So this is what we call the shaping process. This is in psychology we call the shaping process. You try to shape, just like you have a piece of wood, you're going to do a sculpture or a drawing on that. You're going to carve the wood. You carve it by one chisel stroke by one chisel stroke. You don't straight away bang it and straight away it become a nice calligraphy or whatever it is. So you have to chisel it step by step by step. So the same thing in life. Everything that you do in terms of your reality check is how to bring that person from the state of denial or state of delusion or state of self-doubt to a state of balance. Al-Ummah Wasata, an individual that is fully balanced, that receive the nafs or the self, the roh, the qalb and the akal that is justly balanced, and then it is fulfilling their life as a sincere servant and Khalifa on this earth. And that is our role as a coach. As life coach, whatever the challenges that you face with your coachee or your client, you have to do your level best using all the tools and techniques which inshallah I will teach you from time to time to understand this. So this is the R of growth. So once you understand that, then you know that you have to bring about a change that is gradual, a change that will bring positive influence on your coachee or client, and a change that will bring them the joy of fulfilling their life as a true and good human being, understanding that we are the vicegerent, the Caliph of Allah on this earth, always striving to make ourselves good, helping others to be good, making the world good for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and all his goodly creatures on this earth, inshallah.